Praise be Jesus Christ. My dear friends, as we journey through this Holy Week, I want to share with you, yesterday I had an ordination. Seminarian Joseph Rielig was ordained to the order of deacon. Deacon Joseph now, has been studying for the past 5 years at St. Vincent Seminary in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and was prepared to be ordained a deacon on last Friday. I had asked him earlier, when the pandemic first struck, whether he would want to go ahead with the ordination, knowing that it would be restricted to very, very few people, 10 at most, and that would include himself and me and whatever family and other deacons and priests were there, or whether he wanted to wait and postpone it indefinitely until the pandemic was over, or at least the restrictions were lifted. And characteristically, now Deacon Joseph, Deacon Rielig, said, I think that I would rather just go ahead with it because it's important in this time to show that the church is still alive. And so I ordained him yesterday. His sister was present and a few priests, deacon, and it was a wonderful ceremony. Granted, it wasn't the kind of ceremony we would normally have with a church filled with lay faithful and religious and our priests and deacons, but it had about it a certain decorum. And the fact of the matter is that the church is still alive, and the church is still moving on. And we have now in the ranks of our diocese a new transitional deacon, and Deacon Joseph, by the grace of God, will be ordained next year here in our cathedral church as a priest. So I ask that you pray for Deacon Rielig as he begins his service to the church as a deacon. Deacon Rielig is stationed at St. Henry's Church in Ellesmere, where he will be a part of the Holy Week services. This morning, on Holy Thursday, as we journey through Holy Week, I celebrated here in our cathedral church the annual Chrism Mass. That's a wonderful time for people from across the diocese to gather. The church is always filled to capacity and then some, with people representing every parish in the diocese. Our consecrated religious are here, our deacons, and all of our priests. And we come together to celebrate that day on which Jesus instituted the Holy Orders and the sacrament of the Holy Eucharist. Because of the restrictions placed on us during this time of pandemic for everyone's safety and well-being, the priests were not able to be here this morning, nor the lay faithful, nor our religious, nor all our deacons, but I was able to celebrate the Chrism Mass and bless and consecrate the oils with our vicars general and our deans. And I'm very grateful for their presence here, for celebrating with me and representing all the priests of the diocese. It was a wonderful Mass. And Deacon Jordan Hainsey was the deacon. He is going to be ordained a priest this coming May 16th, in our cathedral. And assisting was Devin Heffernan, one of our seminarians, who did all the serving for the Mass, and then Father Joey Shelton, who is our Episcopal Master of Ceremonies and my administrative assistant. He, with Father Dan Shoemaker, put together this new rite. We're using the same rite, the same books, but a new way of doing things with no people present. So we did bless, and I consecrated the Chrism this morning, and we will be making that available after Easter to all the deans to distribute to the various parishes. So we move along on our Holy Week journey. Tonight at 6 p.m. here at the cathedral, we will celebrate the Mass of the Lord's Supper. And at designated parishes throughout the diocese in our various deaneries, the Mass of the Lord's Supper will be celebrated also at 6 p.m. Our Mass here will be live streamed, as will the Masses in several of the churches where the deans with their priests will be celebrating Mass. You can find that information on the website, the places where the Mass is going to be live streamed from tonight. Tomorrow, Good Friday, we will celebrate at 3 p.m. The Lord's Passion and Death here at the cathedral, and again in those select parishes. And then on Holy Saturday at 8:30 p.m., we'll celebrate the Easter Vigil here, and again in those parishes where the deans will be celebrating with priests from their deanery. And you can check the website for all of those that will be live streamed. I hope that you are having a blessed Holy Week. This is obviously and without a doubt a very different Holy Week than any of us has celebrated in our own lifetime, but we have faith and we have hope, and even though we can't be together personally or publicly, we can be together through the wonder of technology. So my prayers are with you as we journey with the Lord through Holy Week. Be assured of my prayers, and please pray for me, and may God bless you, and God bless all those you love.